So this will be recorded. This is one of those that you might want to watch again. Okay. Because I'm going to go through as much as we can today to get you the most powerful transformation ever. I'm going to give you some context as to what you're going to go through. Some of you are brand new to this. Some of you are like, yay, another round. So each of you are at different phases of your life. I'm going to give you some context, and then I'm going to take you through a really powerful process. This is one of my favorite processes. I love the new year. I love thinking about new goals and what we're creating. I've talked to a lot of people, though, that sometimes goal setting can be kind of a drain. It's boring. It's like doesn't really mean anything because then you set a goal and you never attain it. Or you set a goal and then you're like excited for a couple days or weeks and then it doesn't happen. Then you look back the year and you're like, I don't even remember my goals that I set. Sometimes we're in those phases. The whole purpose of today is to get yourself into a state of beingness. We're going to talk about being, doing, and having. And I want to help you become the person who, when you set a goal, you are able to confront it, which means to sit with it, to be with it, to take action on it, and not avoid it, not have distractions come up, not take years
none of these
to try to achieve
right?
it.
Okay.
Let me mute everybody. So what we're going to take you through is a process to help you get into a state of transformation so that you can become. Okay. This is going to be an interactive process. So I am going to encourage you guys to take out a pen and a paper. We are going to do some writing as well as some aligning, which I'll get into that here in a minute, what that will look like. All right. So with that, my name is Tyler Watson. I am the founder of the Abundance Alignment Process, and now our company is specialized in elite performance coaching. And our main thing is helping elite performers be able to win in every area of life. And that's really important to me because I feel like as someone who strives for elite results, it's really easy to get off balance. It's easy to sacrifice the family or sacrifice health or sacrifice finances in pursuit or spirituality in pursuit of a goal. And that's not true success. True success is being able not just to maintain, but to grow in every area of life, right? Is everybody down for that? Like, that's the main purpose of growing and changing. Is it's not so that we teeter-totter so that we're like, yay, I've scaled in my health and now tanked in my relationships, or cool, my business is now doubled and everybody left me. The whole point of growing is that we can have a balanced abundance and experience transformation. I've went through a lot of different trials in my life, as well as many of you have as well. And you've been through tools, you've been through techniques, you've been through processes. So what I'm going to share with you today is a tool, a process to help you become, we're going to go back to that word, become the person you're meant to be so that you can take the actions necessary, attract the things in your life, and truly have what you want without going through those roller coasters of ups and downs or the teeter-totters where you sacrifice one thing for the other. Make sense so far? If so, just give me a hi in the video. I love seeing you guys' videos, by the way, on here. It makes me feel like you guys are real people. So I like to see faces. So if you want to show your video, that's totally cool. If not, I totally get it. This is going to be recorded. I'll probably upload it to my YouTube channel. And that way, if you want to watch it again, you can do that. Okay. This is going to be one of those that we're going to go in depth on some powerful process. It's going to take you a lot longer than what we're going to go through. But if I took the whole time, it'd take like 4 hours for what we need to do to really get you into a powerful state. So we're going to go through about half of it, about 90 minutes worth. I'm going to show you the flow of what you're going to do to empower yourself and maintain that consistently throughout the next days, weeks, months, and the year. I've had people go through this very single process, the same process that I'm fixing to take you through. I'm doing a little variation of it, but one of them told me that after going through the New Year's alignment of last year, they told me about 6-7 months in, they had achieved every single thing on their list. And I told them, next time you should make a bigger list. They're like, we didn't even think we were going to attain those things. But because they become the person, then they're able to have those things happen and get in that state of flow. For us, it's been really awesome to get into a state of alignment. We've been able to get a new home in a crazy environment. We've been able to have better relationships with my spouse and my kids, be able to just have a lot more fulfillment in life, have more money than ever before. Like, a lot of blessings come when you become the person that you want to be. And then everything starts to work. So if things don't feel like they're working, it's not that you're broken, not that you're not good enough, not that you don't deserve it, not that you are stupid, or that your generations have led you to what it is, or genetics, or whatever, environment or government or whatever is out there. It's time to take personal responsibility and say, I can influence everything in my life. I can influence everything in my life. And the things that I don't feel like I can influence, if I can get in that state where I can step into my power and have influence over whatever it is that I'm trying to work on, then I can feel in control of it. I can feel that power of it. I can influence it with my thoughts, with my actions, and I can attain it as fast as humanly possible. Good to know? Okay, so with all that context, let me mute everybody. Excuse me. By the time we're done, my goal today is to set you up with a tool and a process that will get you into a peak state so that you can attain your goals as quickly as possible. We're going to take you through some clarity first, making sure you got your goals. Some of you, how many have got your goals already? You're like, this is my New Year's goals. I've solidified that. How many feel like you could get a little bit more clarity? Like, hey, I feel like I'm almost there, but how many have not even thought about setting goals? You're like, I don't even set goals yet. So, okay, cool. We've got a lot of different people. So we're going to take you through a process to get clear on the goals. Okay, that's the first step. Second is we're going to go through a process to help you create your ideal story and who you become so that you can nail these things as quickly as possible. And third, I'm going to take you through a process to align you so that every organ, gland, and cell in your body stops fighting it. And I'm going to teach you a little bit of why this is working, why after spending almost $500,000 in personal development transformational techniques, that what I'm going to show you is by far the fastest, most effective process on the planet to help you make those changes. There's a lot of good tools out there. I'm a fan of a lot of them. I use a lot of them, but this is my favorite. I'm kind of biased because I created it and it works well. And so if it works, use it, right? And the proof is in the pudding. Go through some of these things, just a few shares. I had a friend of mine, Doug. He was able to more than double his income after making an alignment, just shifting how he feels about himself and how he thinks about money. Not to mention, he also had a billionaire reach out to him, and now he's doing a JV partner with him. So, like, when you think the things that you think might take years, like, man, that would be a dream for me. I'm going to encourage you that the only reason it feels like a dream is because part of you doesn't believe it, and it doesn't feel natural. It feels different. It feels foreign. It feels fake. It feels inauthentic. There's some sort of unknown that is happening in your life that's keeping you from creating what you want. So the more we can confront that and get your whole body into a peak state, then you'll be like, here's the goal. Here's all the systems. Everybody starts to work together and it starts to happen. So I'm excited. My one ask is, will you share with me your successes and not forget about what you did? Sometimes after you go through this process, because you've become that person, you totally even forget that you had resistance in the first place. So I'm just going to encourage you, as you get results over the next couple weeks, months, remember and just send me a little testimonial. Be like, Tyler, this was so cool. Like, I totally nailed this goal. Like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I totally did this and this and this. And I love seeing those things. I love getting them. We get lots and lots and lots every week, and I can't have enough. So if you guys will commit to that, that would make my whole year and just be very, very cool. So thank you guys so much. Awesome. See that. Cool. Okay. All right. Let me share a few contexts here of, I'm going to share my screen with you guys of why this is going to work. Okay. All right. So in life, so let's say you have a goal. Like, let's pick one of your goals. So go ahead and put in the chat one of your main goals. Could be in health, could be in wealth, could be in relationships, could be spirituality, could be vacation, travel, experience, the impact that you're making. We're going to break all those down, but for now, just throw down one of your goals, something that you are focused on this year that would be really exciting to attain. You'd be like, oh, this is so awesome, right? Okay, so we got become self-employed as a coach and leave my day job. Love it. Awesome, Tori. And Stanley, replace my former corporate income with income in my own business. Boom. Buy my house. Okay, good. Deep, playful relationships with each of my kids. Love it. Okay, so whatever goal you have. So you have this goal, which I'm going to represent by a blue. Oh my goodness. I am an artist. Hold on. By a blue star. That was not a star. Okay, here's a blue star. Here we go. There's a star. Okay, so here's a blue star. This represents your goal. Okay, and as you're going for your goal, here you are, and you have what's called life experiences. How many have experienced life before and you're like, some of that life is not as cool as the other parts of my life? But there's life that we go through. Okay, and these life experiences contain memories. So each of these experiences in life are memories that make us who we are. So it's a summation of our thoughts, our emotions, what we've seen, what we've felt, what we've heard, what we've done. All of these things go through these memories of life every single day. Right now, you're creating memories. Now, the problem happens when you are born and then you go through some trauma, some things that are not ideal. And you might go through something and you might be thinking, hey, you know, as a kid, maybe mom says something, dad does something, you get hit, you get dropped. Some sort of negative experience occurs and it creates a little pain point. Okay. And then you go through life and then something else happens and another pain point. And you go through life and another pain thing. And there's all these little pains that we go through. Now, the problem happens when these pains become associated with our goals. So if I have a goal to replace my entire income, and let's say I've had a goal in the past around money, or maybe in like me, Tyler, growing up, there was a time where I was like 7 or 8 and I was given my wallet. I had a wallet and I had money in it and I lost it and I could not find it. And I had all this money saved up and I felt so horrible. I felt like I was not good enough, like I don't deserve anything. And because of this traumatic thing, as I went to go make more money in the future, a big part of me felt like as I was moving toward this ideal goal, that's my beautiful star, by the way, I felt like part of me was going to lose money. So the more I brought in, the more I would lose. And it was because some of my past memories said that, oh, Tyler, when you have money, you lose it. Makes sense? So then when I tried to go make more, part of me resisted making more because, oh no, I don't want to be a bad steward. I'm going to lose it. So I would sabotage and do everything not to make money. Other instances, as I was trying to get married and have a good relationship, I watched my mom and dad, my mom go through 4 or 5 divorces now, and my dad through 2. So I had this association tied to relationships, watching these things. And I had these painful experiences growing up that my brain interpreted, my body interpreted, and they were stored in my brain and in my body. And as I thought, hey, I want to get in a good relationship, part of me had this negative memory associated to the relationship. So as I thought, hey, I'm going to go get in a relationship, all I could feel was, oh my goodness, I'm going to screw this up. I don't want to be like my parents. I hope I don't get a divorce. I'm going to like royally make a mess of things. And so I pushed away the relationships time and time again. And so often we take years to create something because of this phenomena. So today, what we're going to go through is a process to help you map out your ideal scenarios. and get really solid on your ideal goals. So when you're really solid on these and you go through a process to actually recreate the traumas, because every word, every thought, every thing that we're going to talk about today is going to trigger a response in your body. Even right now, me teaching you things, part of your body could be resisting it, could be taking it on. Whatever is happening, you're analyzing and you're going through all the different words based on your knowledge, and your body's having reactions. So what's going to happen is when you set a goal, your body automatically has reactions, fight, flight responses all the time based on your goals and your past perceptions of those goals. And the goal is, the goal of the goal is to get yourself into a state that you can look at the goals, feel the goals, and become that person capable of handling every piece of your goal. That it's a part of your identity, a part of your identity. Because when it becomes who you are, no longer is it just a response to feel like you're just acted upon, but you're in control and you have power over that thing and cause over it. Is this making sense? If so, just let me know if this doesn't make sense, because what I'm about to go in through the process, you got to understand some of these foundational pieces so that this makes it actually connects. Yeah. Cool. Okay, good. And what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you a little portion of the alignment process, which is it deals with tapping, breathing, and smiling. Super complicated, I know, but that's literally what we're going to do. Is we're going to trigger a response. We're going to turn it off using the abundance alignment technique. And then we're going to allow yourself to get into a peak state of ideal feelings and thoughts about those goals. And at the end, we're going to anchor this in so that, let's say when you're done and you're like flying at 190 miles an hour and you're like, I feel incredible, I'm going to go get my goals. That tomorrow and the next day and the next day, you maintain it and let it become part of who you are. So we're going to go and anchor that as well. Yes, I will be posting a copy of this on my YouTube channel, and I'll send out an email or something with the links and stuff, so you guys can watch this again if you need to. I might be going a little fast and we're not going to finish the whole process. So I'm going to give you some homework to do. I'm going to teach it to you. We're going to do a little bit of it, and then I'm going to have you guys finish it. Okay. But this is going to be up to you. So if you take full responsibility over your goals and you really want to nail them, I'm going to encourage you to let go of some of your old paradigms, let go of some of your false beliefs, and allow yourself to be open to new ideas, new philosophies. Okay. If you can start to see things new, see things differently, get rid of these old lenses. You see, each of these pain points it's almost like wearing a glasses with a new colored lens on it. And you look through it and it paints the whole world differently. So if you're like, oh, money is evil, or money's hard to make, or relationships suck, or I always sabotage myself after I have a big win, whatever it might be, or I never set goals because goals represent failure and struggle and letdown, right? That used to be what I had. So I'd never set goals. And then I was all happy, but it was a fake happy. So it wasn't ideal. So I was like, hey, I should probably work through that. And then as I did, then I could start to scale it and actually experience the joy and fulfillment of progress. Yeah. Okay. So each of us have our own resistances. We're going to work through them. We're going to get rid of those lenses so that you can see and become that person and nail these things as quickly as possible. Cool. All right. So the breath pattern, I'll show you when we get to it. It's going to be tapping, breathing, smiling, and we're going to trigger responses, tap where they are, and then tap, smile, and pant. And it's simple. I'll show you guys how to do it. We're going to go through what's called a story alignment. So there's about 14 variations. The full version of a full alignment can take several hours, and it goes through every organ, gland, and every part of your body. What we're doing today, because of this group, is we're going to create a story alignment that you can, the story alignments are so powerful, like incredible. So I'm super excited to do this. We haven't done it with New Year's goals as a story alignment. So this is the first time we're doing it this way. So I'm super stoked and can't wait to hear about your guys' successes. All right, with that, let's dive in to some of the process. Okay, you guys ready for this? Yeah. Okay, looks like it. Hopefully you guys are awake, alive, get your water next to you, drink, stay hydrated, get focused, don't tune out. Okay.
Let's do this.
All right. I'm going to teach you some things. When the body gets sleepy or the mind gets sleepy, usually what happens, it's getting something that is fixing to break through. So this happened to me a lot when I was studying and I was getting to where I was like, oh man, I'm getting like close. My brain would shut off and I'd get tired. That is a response the body does to protect itself from change. So I'm going to encourage you to not allow yourself to do that. If you have to stand up, shake it off, do what it takes, change your state so that you can stay awake, be present, because this is your life. This is your stuff. And for you to take full ownership is key. And you've got to do that by your own choices. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you, don't allow yourself to get tired. If you have questions, ask questions in the chat. I'll answer them as best as possible and be participating. Don't let me go if I don't answer something. I want to make sure you guys understand everything that you're going through and that you can create some really powerful transformations. Towards the end, if you guys are interested, I have like 3 or 4 more spots left in my retreat that we're doing in 2 to 3 weeks. So it's super cool. And it's an experience that I get to work on you personally with 15 other people. So if you'd like, we can hop on a conversation. I'll drop a link and with a 30-minute booking thing to talk about next steps if you want that. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. So New Year's goals. Focus is key. So we're going to start with focus. All right. I want you guys right now we're going to get focused. In the unstoppable equation, which I'll cover real quick, there's some important parts. Here they are. So unstoppable represents the speed at which you attain your goal. Unstoppable, if at its ideal, the unstoppable is like as fast as humanly possible, right? So here's what the equation is. Unstoppable is equal to skills multiplied by focus plus work, divided by allergies multiplied by addictions. So what does that mean? It means if I just focus all year and I put in the work and I get the skills, but I don't work on myself and I don't become the person I'm meant to be, I could put in 100 amount of effort of skills and focus and work. But if I have fight, flight responses in my body, and even if this is just like 5, or let's say it's 10, like something together, like multiplied and it's 10. Well, then you're putting in 100 amount of effort, but you're only getting out 1/10 of what you really want. So the goal is to get it close to what you're getting out. You'll never be a perfect on there, but it shouldn't take you 40 years to get somewhere that should only take you 13 days. So we want to make it very simple so that the point of, hey, here I am, here's where I'm going, doesn't take you an eternity. It's like, oh, why am I going in circles? I've been doing this thing over and over and over. All right. So with that context, I would like for you guys to map out specifically some of your goals. The first thing we want to do is get focused. We need to focus on what it is that you're going to create. Now, in creating goals, this is how you want to think of the structure. You want to be first. Second, you want to do. Third, you want to have. Most of our goals are focused on what? Usually it's focused on having. It's like, hey, I want to have a house. I want to have income. I want to have this relationship. The problem.
All the I wants.
Yeah. It's I want, which then takes us a long time, because if you train your brain to want something, there's equal and opposites to all things. So if it feels like I want this, it means that it's absent. And part of your body will literally push it away because it's thinking, oh, you don't have that thing. So you will literally cause like 2 reactions to occur just by thinking that, focusing on this piece. Like, all that I want is to have these things. So the key in actually goal attaining, yes, it's good to map out what you want to have, but most importantly is, who do I need to become? What kind of person? How do I show up? What kind of characteristics do I have? And you work backwards from this. So I look at, okay, what do I want to have in order to have this? So let's say I want to make 1.5 million. This is my goal this year, 1.5 million in less than 12 months, and have that systemized so that I can actually like duplicate it. Okay. So that's my income goal. So then the doingnesses of that. Okay. So if I want to have this, what would I need to do? This gets to where you're thinking more of like the skills and the work. What would I need to do to have this? Oh, I would need to sell this many things. I would need to market this way. I would need to do this, and never be attached to the doing this, because the how will always change, but it's good to still map it out. Okay. An idea of creating, here's how I think I could do it. Does that make sense? So you want to map out first what you want to have. Then, cool, what am I going to do to get that thing? And then the most important thing, who would I be if I already had that and I was doing those things? What kind of person would I be that I'm not right now? Oh, well, I would be excited about systems. I would be a better leader. I would be more focused. I would be, and you go on and on and on about all the things that you would be so that you can do the things and then have the things. You guys following this? Okay. So this is the secret to truly nail your goals as quickly as possible, is focus not on the having or the doing, but on the being. But it is important to map it out. So we're going to do this with your first goal. So the first goal that you have, the one that you think is a priority, or like, oh man, this is going to be awesome. Write down what it is that you want to have. Then you're going to map out 3 things. You can do more on your own time if you want, but for this exercise, we're going to do 3 things that you can do or that you need to do in order to move towards that goal or become or have that goal. So if it's like, cool, I need to grow this, or let's say one of the goals is a relationship. I want to have a phenomenal relationship where I connect with my kids. That was somebody's goal, right? So doing this, oh, maybe it's, I'm going to connect with them every day, or I'm going to do something every single week, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. Some doing this that will lead to the having this. And then who would I be? Oh, I would be excited and think about, like, I'd wake up and think about my kids, wake up and be creative. I would do this. I would do that. I would do that. So think about who it is that you want to be so that you can do those things and have it. Okay. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to map this out. You're going to write out just for one of your goals, and you're going to ideally do this for all of your goals. But for the exercise, because of the time, I'm going to have you do it on one, and you're going to write out your having, then go through one of the doing, and then map out 3 of the being. Okay. So 1 have, 3 doings, and 3 beings. Okay. Go ahead and begin. I'm going to turn on some thinking music so that you guys can just think through this and do it. And then we're going to open it up, get a couple shares, and go into the next process. Okay. So go ahead and begin. Let me turn on some thinking music. Here we go. You guys hear that?
Yeah, we hear it.
Really think about what you're going to have, what you're going to do, who you're going to become. If you finish that on one of them, put on your next one. One more minute. One more minute. All right. Sorry for the abruptness there. Okay. So, Sarah just messaged and asked if I could share some health examples. So here's some health examples. So let's say I want to set a goal for health improvement, right? Maybe I feel depressed. Maybe I have some sort of pain that just keeps reoccurring. So still the same thing. So what do I want to have, right? Well, the thing that I want to have is, and having doesn't mean the absence of something. So it's not like I want to be pain free, right? It would be, I want to have energy. So it's not, so I don't focus on the thing that you don't want. Like, I don't want to have pain. I don't want to have this. I don't want to have that. Focus on what you actually want. So the having would be, I want to feel vibrant. I want to feel alive. I want to have energy throughout the day. I want to wake up excited and complete a day where I feel fulfilled. I want to have clarity in my mind. I want to feel joy again. I want to feel comfortable in my body, right? So those are some of the having things. Then the becoming, or sorry, the doing would be things like, well, let's say I want to, maybe it's, I want to find the solution and go through the program or the course or the meal plan, or I want to do these things to accomplish that. I want to be led to the right person. I want to be, I want to get plugged in and go through the growth that I need to experience, right? And then who would I become in that? Well, if I was someone, and I used to suffer with depression. I was depressed from the age of 12 to about 18 years old, suicidal tendencies, depression, porn addictions, video game addictions. I tried to take my life several times just thinking about it, and so lots of negative things. And I looked through that And all those are our frequencies and patterns and energies based on our past perceptions. So as you start to know those things and get educated and start to see that, oh, it doesn't have to consume my identity, then you can get out of them a lot faster. And they don't have, the symptom does not have to define you. You see, with most chronic things, the symptoms define who we are. It's like, I have chronic fatigue. Now I identify as, oh, my thyroid sucks, my adrenals are always shot, this. And we start to label this. Labels can be effective to find solutions, but they can also be very ineffective because now it feels like that thing owns us. And if there's no solution, then it feels like it's impossible to change it. You're just stuck that way. So I don't believe in that ever. I believe there's always a solution. There's always. And I've seen some crazy cool stuff shift. Now, disclaimer for those of you who are new, we don't heal anything. We don't cure anything. We don't do anything other than I teach you guys stuff. And as you shift, and if things just vanish, send me testimonials. Okay. But we don't heal. We don't do any of that stuff. All we do is I teach you cool stuff, help you change and take full ownership of yourself. And as you do, certain things start to happen that are really cool. So that is our little disclaimer there. So take full responsibility. Everybody down for that? Take full ownership. That's important because we're just here coaching and I'm not a doctor. Don't prescribe anything, don't heal anything, don't cure anything. And all we do is help empower you to make changes. And those changes tend to happen very fast when you take full ownership. Cool. All right. Sweet. So hopefully that answers that. So then who would you become? I would become someone who is vibrant, is alive, is excited about my life, feels like I love my body, like I'm in love with every part of who I am. Like I'm someone who's in control of my physical body. I have a relationship with myself. I feel really excited and like that's the becoming part, right? So hopefully that helps. Now you have some different context out. Lydia says that was really interesting. I finished with the first goal, and so I moved on to the second goal. The do and were almost the same steps, things that were needed. Yeah. It's sometimes hard to differentiate between the doing and the being, or the doing and the having. But as you do it, you'll start to see more and more in the more you practice. Frank says, now I have no clue what I'm supposed to do in order to have, because in the last 10 years, I've tried so many things thinking I was going to earn from home and nothing worked. I have no idea where to start. I only know this. I want to move from Chicago to Pensacola and live in a mansion, swimming pool, own my own gym, Lamborghini, Dodge Challenger, workout. I need more time. Yeah. Some of you are going to need a lot more time to write these out, but that's why I say, like, go through this. I want you to do at least one, but take some time. Like, really, the more this means something to you, the better you will get the result. So just look at it and be like, okay, this is who this is what I really want. These are the doing thises, and these are the becoming. Cool. All right, let's move on. So as part of your thing that you can do, I want you to do this with each of these categories. If you haven't already, for your New Year's goals, relationships. This could be something in terms of marriage, with kids, with family. But how do you want your relationship to look like? Set goals in relationship category. Make sure that that's something that you know. For me, I have a goal that my marriage is going to be more rich than ever before, more vibrant. And one of my doing this is I'm going to do a most creative or epic date, like at least once a month, because we go every week, but I'm going to have one of those that's like the most epic and creative thing ever. And it's going to be every single month. So that's my doingness. The beingness is, for me on that, is I want to be someone who I always think about how I can take my relationship with my spouse to the next level. Like, it's something I get obsessed with and love with and just fall in love at a higher level with Emily and feel that deep, deep, rich connection. So that's an example of a relationship one, right? Finances, spirituality, travel, fun, education, personal growth, health, and the impact that you want to make. Okay. These are a lot of categories. Like I said, this could take a little time. So we're not going to go through them all, but I want to give you some ideas if you want to take this to the next level of some good categories this year of things to really look at and be like, how do I want my relationship to be like? Finances, spirituality, travel, fun, education, health, impact. This should be so clear that if I was to ask you tomorrow or right now, and if I was connecting with Stanley and I was like, hey, Stanley, what's your goal for this? And I could go through and be like, what's your health goal? What's your impact goal? What's your education? Stanley would be like, cool. Well, my impact goal is to blah, 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 blah. My health goal is to da, 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 da. You shouldn't have to like open a book and look at it. Like, what's my health goal? It should be something that you are familiar enough with so that it becomes ingrained in your identity. Now, the process we're going to go through will help that happen. But this should be something where if I drill you on this and I'm like, hey, what's your spirituality goal? Oh, I'd be like, cool. Well, one of my spirituality goals is to feel more connected to God than ever before. How am I doing this is I'm going to attend a really sacred place that I love to attend every month. I'm going to do that 20 times this year. And I'm going to also be able to dive in deeper through prayer and seek deeper inspiration through prayer more consistently. So spirituality, right? So it should be something that you know. Like for me, I know every single one of my goals and it's ingrained already in like what I'm doing in my focus. And if I sleep and I wake up, it's still there. So a goal should be something that excites you. It gets you motivated. It wakes you up. Now, some of us have had those fight flight responses, so it might feel impossible. It might feel like it's not even there, right? But I encourage you, that's okay. Don't worry about that because what I'm going to take you through will help it feel purposeful and possible and real. Some of you have tried to get these goals before and have failed, and that's okay. Doesn't matter. We're going to break those chains and help you step into your power so that it's a brand new slate. Could you say any more on the impact category? Yes. So the impact category, so impact is kind of like the either giving back or the impact you want to make. So for me, my business is very much tied to impact. So it's like the number of people I want to reach through some of my programs. That's not a financial goal to me. Finances, I have a goal for, but my impact is I want to help 1,000 people be able to get educated through the Unstoppable Life School. I want to help over 40 leaders be able to take ownership of every area of their life and have the biggest breakthroughs that they've ever experienced through my impact or through my mastermind program. So I have things that I'm going to do that way. And then also some give back things like could be tied into traveling. But one of my passions is like building homes and stuff for homeless people and also for sex slavery and things like ending those things. So impact could be in that as well. Contribution. Let's see. Keats, how do you make goals that excite you? I feel like I get tangled with the wording and self-editing because of the past experiences you mentioned before. You seem to be able to decide on them so clearly. Yes. So Keats, that one will come through working through it. So for now, just kind of pretend that you're excited about it to be like, if I didn't have any resistance around it, here's what I would want. Okay. And then we'll work through it to where it can get exciting. But that's what you got to do is you got to first just have a focus and then start to work on the resistances of those. Stanley says, I'm curious of your techniques or thoughts help address fear of clarity on goals. Yes. You can do that. It is very common for me to like to feel like I am very clear about my goals. That resistance increases. So my tendency has been to sneak up on goals as possible. Yeah. So if you have resistance setting goals, that's another class, but here's what you would do. Essentially you would, you would align. So essentially, and I used to have a lot of resistance to goal setting. I wouldn't set goals because goals represented failure. It represented letdown. It represented falling short. It represented a lot of negative experiences. So as I went through and aligned these and we actually have a whole alignment on goals in our academy program. And literally you can watch and follow through and just shift your definition to goals. But I can teach you guys that. We also have some basic stuff in our Unstoppable Life School, just on redefining and shifting some things. So if you guys need extra help on that, we can totally, like, I can lead you to the resources, but you can do that. So if you resist it, just look at it and be like, all it is a frequency. Frequency can change. That pattern can change. You just need to get into a state of alignment, and that's cool. Okay. All right. So with this, write this list down, take some time outside of here, make sure you map this out. Okay. Now, what I'm going to have you do, we're going to do a real quick share. I'm going to put you guys into groups, and I want you to share your number one goal. Okay. To share this flow of what I want to have, what I'm going to do, and who I'm going to be. You each will have a little bit less than 1 minute. So I'm going to put you into groups of, let's see how many people are in here. Breakout rooms. Let me see here. 69 people. So that's, if I did 5 groups of 5 people in a room. Somebody help me with the math. If 5 people in a room, there's out of 70 people, that's what, 15? Okay. So what we're going to do, you're going to be in a group of 4 or 5 people. You're going to state your name, and you're going to run through it and say, hey, my name's Tyler. My goal is to have blank. So my goal, let's say if it was my financial goal, my goal is to make $1.5 million over the course of less than 12 months. That's systematic. And the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to sell 1,000 Unstoppable Life Schools, 40 masterminds, elite performance masterminds, and get my marketing on board. My beingness that I'm going to be is someone who can manage teams, someone who's very creative, and someone who always attracts the best of the best. Done. Next person, right? So you're going to go through, you're going to vocalize this. This is going to help you get comfortable with your goals. Then once we're doing that, so I'll give you about 4 minutes to go through this. So you have a little bit less than a minute, unless you have 4 people in your group. So I'll end the group. It'll show a countdown from 60 seconds. You're going to share it. I'm going to encourage you just to do this. If you feel uncomfortable, that's okay. I'm going to encourage you to work through the resistances. You're here for a reason. Okay. Your goals are not comfortable goals. Being comfortable is not how to attain them. It will not get you there. So if you're really serious about getting your goals, today is the day to start getting uncomfortable. Some of you hate being in groups. Perfect. That's awesome. Yay. We're going to confront that. I used to too. Now you're going to work through it so that you can vocalize your goals, start working on this. And then we're going to go through the process of getting yourself into a state where it feels good and transforming how your body responds to it. Okay. So with that, I'm going to create this rooms here. And looks like most of you have 4. There is 1 of 5. So we're going to open all the rooms. Go ahead and join those rooms. Pick somebody to go first, and then do it as quickly as possible. Then I'll end it. And you got about 4 minutes to do that. Okay. So go ahead, begin that process. For those of you on the recording, I want you just to vocalize it out loud. Find a friend to share it with. There's power when you vocalize and share it. Okay. Do it here if you're live. Go ahead and hit the join button. Each of you should have a thing. So hit that join. Should invite you there. Hit the join over there. Let's see. Lisa got it. Okay. Keep hitting that join button. So all of you who are in here, you still need to join your group. So you should get a little invite Tina, Toddy, Tashiana, Rindy, Paul, Pat, Noni, Nan, Mark, Manchi, Linda, Lanice, Aaron, C. Campbell, Andrea, Jenny, Andrew. Go ahead and join those groups. Okay, for those who can't, totally fine. You can just stick around. If you can't make it, I'll just adjust the groups. And we'll get started here in a second. Yeah, no worries. If some of you can't, that's totally fine. You can just stick around, vocalize it, or post it in a group. But it's important to share if you can. So. Okay, I'll give you about 1 more minute. Awesome. Yeah, can't make any noise. Totally fine. Just listening bit. That's fine. All over the place, going from next shiny object to next. That's a good goal, even just to get focused and to say, this year, my goal is to be focused and maintain the course. Linda, ironically, my main goal is to regain complete health and vitality. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to close that out. And everybody should be joining here in a minute. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Okay, almost done. Everybody's back. And cool. All right, welcome back. Glad you guys participated. Well done. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get one share. Who would like to unmute yourself and share your main goal? what's the big thing that you're focused on? What are you going to become? What are you going to have? What are you going to do? And what are you going to become? Let's get one share. And I want to take you through the process to starting to get a story around this so that we can align it and make some massive shifts. So let's get one person who would like
I'll
to get
share.
Chris.
Yo, yeah, I'm super pumped to get my program out in 2 months. It's my goal, and I want to sell 20 subscriptions or memberships to the group in each month to reach a goal of $10,000 a month. And it's a premium group, and I'm making it a premium group because I know the value that I offer. I know the value that I've learned. And so that's what I'm doing, and I'm stoked on it.
Cool. So the goal is to get how many people?
20 a month.
20 a month. And what was the price point?
5,000 each.
Perfect. Okay. So
10,000 a
as
month.
you do that, who do you feel like you need to become in order to attain that?
Wait, that was way more than I thought. Who do I need to become? I need to become someone who is unshakable in the things that I know. So every situation, each new hurdle that I hit, I'm unshakable in my beliefs.
Very cool. Love it. Okay. Big round of applause. Thanks for sharing, Chris.
Thank
Awesome
you.
job. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through creating an ideal story. Okay. I know some of you might not have all those pieces mapped out, so you can do that after this to create your ideal story, but we're going to start on your ideal story. An ideal story, I like to change about every 3 to 6 months. And usually because I'm already in the mode of creating things. So my 3-month story ago is already like old because I've become I'm such in a different space that my story's changed. Like what I want to create has changed. I did story creation back about 8 years ago. And man, when I was broke, I was making less than $13,000 a year. I had recently got married and my wife was super sick and I didn't have very much direction in my life. My goal was, hey, I just want to make some money. Like making less than 13,000 a year is not ideal. So my goal was like, dude, I would love to make a 6-figure income, like making 10,000 a month. That would be insane. I just thought how cool that would be. So I wrote out this story and I remember it was Christmas time. It was in December and I was dirt broke and I just wrote my ideal story. So I'm going to teach you how to do that based on your goals. Back then, I did a variation of the alignment and I worked through my resistances throughout. So I wrote out my story and it was as if it had already happened. A year had happened. So I imagined it and I was like, a year. Okay, man, I've made 6 figures. Cool. Who am I going to be? So I wrote it out. Man, I'm so grateful now that I've been able to make $100,000. I can't believe the kind of person I've become. I feel alive and vibrant. When I go and speak on stages, people hear my voice and they listen to me. When I walk into a room, everybody senses my presence and it blesses the lives of people. When I shake their hand, they feel my connection and how passionate I am about their successes. I am so inspired. I've been able to help these many clients. And I went on and on and on about this ideal story. It felt so fake, felt like a bunch of load of BS. It felt like it was not even close to it. But I wrote it out as if it had already happened with a lot of emotion. And yes, this is the Bob Proctor version. So you're going to do the Bob Proctor version if you guys have followed Bob Proctor, but we're actually going to do an alignment process on it, which will 10 to 20x it. So I wrote that out. And fortunately back then I had a lot of tools and I worked on myself consistently and I kept shifting myself. And guess what? 1 year had passed and I had wrote my story and I read it to myself and I worked on myself. And it was hard. That year was the hardest year of my life. I remember making my first 10,000 in a month and then the next month, 15K. And I remember looking up on the ceiling, like bawling, crying because I felt like I was such a failure. Not because it was cool, but because it was so hard. And I didn't realize who I had to become to attain what I really wanted. And my old self was fighting it tooth and nail to keep me stuck. I just wanted to veg all the time. I wanted to do pornography, and I wanted to video games, and I wanted to do all the junk to avoid what I truly wanted in my soul. And I knew that whatever story is greatest wins. So if my story of me being broke, struggling, sick, whatever story is bigger wins. Some of you have broken stories. You're struggling. You've tried. Nothing works. You've done it so many times. You don't like goals. That is a story, a creation of past experiences that might be really strong. And the goal is, can I create this new story and make it so real, so powerful, so vibrant that when I think of my new story, that other story doesn't feel real at all? Because you have two stories. They're in you. Your ideal, I believe you were born with. I believe we were born and put on this earth with our ideal scenarios, but we've given into the old stories. We've given into them and believed them, chosen to believe them because of our past evidence. Some of us, it's our bodies, our genetics, or whatever. And we've labeled them and said, this is the way. This is real to me. This is my reality. Nothing I do works. Nothing I do can change it. And that is a story. And you have given it so much power that that story dictates your results. And your body believes it. But if you get your body, your mind, your body, every single part of you to not believe the lies that you've been giving it, to take on a new truth, it might seem like a lie right now, but it's getting you back to your truth, back to your capability and what you're truly capable of. That is the real story. The things that you're creating this year, that is the real story. It's not that old story. It's not your current situations or your past situations. It is because you are a creator and you can change any story. Now, some of you have written your stories, but you fight it. We're going to align it so that you can truly embrace it and make it a part of you. Sound good? Okay. How many are down for creating new stories? Letting go of those old stories, not being a victim to them anymore. We have got to commit this year. Create the stronger story. Live it, embrace it, eat it, sleep it, become it. So that story defines who you are. Yes? Okay, let's do it. Love it. All right. Whew. Okay, I know this is good stuff. Let's do it. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. We're going to write a little bit of a story. Now, to do this, I want you to incorporate the beingness first, then the havingness, or then the doingness, then the havingness. Okay. So this is how it would look like. You're going to write it as if this year has finished. So this will be whatever day you're looking at a year from today. So today, January 3rd, if you're on the recording, a year from that day. Okay. And you're going to go through and you're going to write it out. I like to actually just vocalize stuff out, but I just like text read it because I'm a slow writer, but it's good to write as well. So I usually write it just because it activates different parts of the brain. And I'll usually read text script on like a Google Doc, read my ideal situation because it's fast. And then I'll go and I'll rewrite it with a pen. And that way it can be ingrained in different parts of my body and my body gets used to seeing it because you activate different parts of the brain when you're writing versus vocalizing. I'm much more of a vocalizer than a writer. That's why I like to write, because I don't like to write and I like to do what I avoid. So write it if you avoid that. For this purpose, write it. Spend 5 minutes just writing it down. Okay. Here's what it's going to look like. You're going to write it as if it's already happened. I'm so thankful and grateful now that. Now, when you use those words, don't just let them be like stupid words. Like some of you have done this process multiple times and you've gotten negative associations tied to thankful and grateful. So I'm going to encourage you to really like evoke emotion when you read it. Like, don't just be like, I'm so thankful and grateful. Ugh, I'm so thankful and grateful now that I have this thing. But you got to actually feel it, especially when you're going to vocalize this. But write it out. Like, I am so thankful and grateful. And even just thinking about those words like gets me excited. Like, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I am so thankful and grateful. Like, it makes me want to tear up. So I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've and go into the becoming first. Now that I've become the person capable of truly handling a team that has made a massive impact, I am so thankful that I've been able to bless over 40 leaders' lives and help them change the lives of millions of people. I am so grateful that I saw some of my clients more than 10x their results, even just within 30 days. It was amazing when I look back and was able to facilitate these retreats where I had so-and-so do this and this, and you can get as detailed as you want. And my wife and I, we had some of the most incredible adventures. We flew out to this location and we did this thing and did this, and we were able to make these connections. And man, my dates were on fire. Every date I did was incredible. I put so much effort into it, and I feel like I'm pretty dang good at creating amazing dates. I feel so connected to my daughters now that we've been able to teach them at higher levels. I've been able to see them grow. So you go on and on and on about your ideal situation. My health one. It's been incredible to get this 6-pack and maintain it consistently this year. Like last year, my goal was to get a 6-pack. I'm almost there. I almost nailed it. I was a little short. So I've got like a 4-pack. I was like, where'd that other little thing go? So I'm still working on that one. So to ideally create it to be like, oh my goodness, I've won several jujitsu tournaments. It's been insane. I love looking back and I put in the work and it's been so fun. Now that I've connected with people and I've been able to speak on stages and go and change people's lives and see them all tap and align and work through all their crap and become who they're meant to be. My Unstoppable Life School is just so much fun. We've got it systemized and optimized, and everybody going through it feels like they're a part of something in a community, and they're actually creating momentum month after month after month. Oh man, we've had some amazing guests speak there. It's been insane. Also, and you go through health, wealth, relationships, spirituality. Man, now that I've really connected and understood the power of prayer, I feel more connected to God than I ever have. It feels like I am more sincere, more passionate. I feel like I can literally talk to him faster than anybody on a cell phone, and I get answers direct, and it's incredible. I feel like I am more in tune than ever, and I am getting ideas that I never even thought could work. And this is incredible. So you go through and you write it out. For me, it's about how you feel about it and the becoming. If you notice, like my story is all about like who I've become and like the joy that it gives me and the joy I can bring other people, because I know I've stepped into that identity, right? Some of it's on having this, some of it's on doing this, but the whole time it's like, oh, who have I become, right? And that's the main focus of the story. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You're probably not going to have as great. Now, the things you want to, here's how to create a good story. Words are power. Okay. Words are power. So don't ever put in things like, well, there's a time and place for everything, but notice that I didn't say, man, I've really stopped being a jerk. And like, so like, notice how I didn't like put in the things that I've like weren't ideal. This is an ideal story creation. Okay. Now there is a process where we actually map out all the not ideals and we work through those. This is not that. Okay. So for this one, I want you to just focus on your ideal story. Like every single phrase should have energy and power to it. Where if you're reading that phrase should jazz you up. It's like, whoa, that's exciting. Like, cool. If it's a health thing, oh, I'm so thankful now that I found my health. I feel more connected to my body than I ever have in my entire life. I've worked through resistances, let go of old, you can add things that you've let go of and let go of, like things like that. Like I have let go of these symptoms and I feel more incredible. I feel more in tune and I truly feel one with every single part of my body. I honor it. I love it. I cherish it. I am good enough. I am deserving. I take ownership of my health and I know what to eat. I know how to exercise. I have the systems and support I need. And it has been so great. I have lots to go, but I feel like I have moved mountains and I am honored that I have created this. I know this has been a miracle and I have received it and I'm looking forward to the many miracles to come. I am so amazed. So, right? So whatever it is that your ideal goal is, you're going to write it out in story form. You have 5 minutes. I'm going to have you do this as individuals. I'm going to turn on some thinking music. 5 minutes. I want you to get into that state of really thinking about it. Okay. I gave you some examples. So once we're done with 5 minutes, we're going to come back. Then we're going to get into some really cool stuff where we actually are shifting it and embracing it and changing how your body responds to it. Okay. So you got 5 minutes, start writing your ideal story, take some time. I know after this, you can like write it for take an hour or something to do it all. But for now, just 5 minutes, really get into that state of like, man, this is so amazing. I'm so thankful and grateful now that blank. Think about it as if a year's passed and you're looking back on that year as if it's already created. Okay. So you got 5 minutes. Timer on the clock starts now. Okay, awesome job. Okay, how'd that go, everybody? So let's get one or two shares here. You can unmute yourself. I'd love to just hear kind of how was that experience for you? Just writing out kind of your ideal situation as it's being created. Who would like to share?
Awesome.
Yeah, Jehudi, go ahead, man. Expand on that. What made it
All
awesome?
right. Indeed. I'm so thankful and grateful that I have become a thriving, premier, charismatic mental fitness coach and dream facilitator, offering an exciting, interactive identity empowerment program in extremely high demand that activates the limitless imagination of the inner child to believe and achieve whatever we mentally rehearse, with attracting vibrant health, abundance in wealth and prosperity with fun and ease.
Love it. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm about a 5 in there. So I've got some work to do on it to make it a 10.
Perfect. Well, we'll get it up there. I'll show you guys how to do that. And I know, Jehudi, you've been through some of these processes, so awesome job. Okay, big round of applause for Jehudi. Thanks for sharing. Okay. All right, guys. So now I'm going to take you through a process that is going to help you get into a place where ideally you want your whole story mapped out. So your assignment, your homework assignment from this is to take each of your goals in those 6 or 7 categories, be sure and map each one of those out, the doing, the being, and the having, then create your ideal story. Okay. You might take a couple days to really think about, like, what do I really want? Don't make it perfect. Don't make it what? Perfect. Don't have to be perfect. Okay. Some of you are like the perfectionists and you're like, but it has to be said just this way with this word here. Don't do that. This is a evolving story. Okay. It's going to change. It's going to improve. It's going to get better, and just do it. Don't worry about it being right. Just do it. Okay. Get the story down, write it out. Relationships, health, wealth, go through each of those and make sure they're a part of your story. Once it's all written out, we're going to take you through a process. I'm going to take you through the first part here, where the goal is to rate yourself. 10 is completely 100% ideal. Like, you have become that person. You're going to maintain this. It's your identity. This is your like life story. It's like a given. Like, you're there. It's already done type of feeling. 0 is, it's a complete bunch of bull. Like, I don't believe this. It's hard. I hate it. Like, 0 is like all the resistance towards it. 10 is super ideal. Make sense? So we all want to be where? 10. We want to be at a 10. Yeah. That's where we want to be. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you read each phrase, and this is called a story alignment. How this works is every single phrase has words in it, and every single word has a pattern or an energy to it based on your past perceptions. So for me, when I think of like my old self thinking about making money, the thought of even making money, like the word money, represented a lot of my old patterns. Money. Oh, Tyler, you lose it. Oh, you're not good enough. You don't deserve it. Your parents don't make much. Oh, so I had all these past experiences that dictated my current definition of the word. So anytime I would create my story, like, I'm so thankful and grateful. Now I've made $10,000 in a month. My brain and body would think $10,000 in a month represents you're going to lose it. It's hard. It's not easy. You got to stress. You got to live in the perceptions that you've seen. So by aligning this, which we're going to go through, each phrase, we're going to work through those resistances and let go of those old patterns, old paradigms, and allow you to create new ones based on your current belief systems. You see, most of us are acting still as 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds. We're not actually living as old as you are. You ever seen anybody when they get angry and they're like, wow, that looked like a 4-year-old right there? If like full grown people, you ever see that before where they're like, I know that that is not how a 40-year-old man should act, right? That's like, that was a 5-year-old. Well, that's what happens. You see those past patterns that we talked about are literally re-stimulated, the lens is on, and you become that identity again. I'm 3-year-old Tyler who lost everything. So now I'm trying to grow a business as a 3-year-old. Like I have a 5-year-old, and if I gave her reins to my business, probably would be a lot of fun, but it would not be profitable, right? So like we have these old lenses that we put on based on our past perceptions. So this aligning process is going to help you let go of those lenses, step into a new identity so that you can be at a what? A 10. Make that story fully real. And then we're going to anchor it in so that it can be remembered and reminded throughout. So it's not just a one-time experience. It's a choice that you can make day after day after day. And it doesn't have to take a long time. Sound good? Okay. Everybody game with that? Yeah. Big thumbs up and a cheesy grin if so. Okay. All right, cool. Now for these, what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through some aligning processes. This has been developed after going through almost 500 different processes, $500,000 in different techniques. So I compiled it in a way that works really well. This is the story variation. The full version you can learn in our Unstoppable schools and our academies and things like that. But for this purpose, we're doing a variation of the technique to help you move through it. Here's the basics of it. When we're stating our thing, so let's say we started off with, I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've blank. And then you read the first phrase, right? You're going to tune into each phrase. You want to get each phrase to a 10, where every single part of your story is a 10. And if every part of your story is a 10, it's going to happen. It's like super powerful. So how you do it is, let's say I'm like, hey, I'm so thankful and grateful now that I have embraced my new identity and I've made over 1.5 million in less than 12 months. So as I say that, I'm going to tune in. 10 being 100% real, 0 being not at all. Now for me, I haven't actually done an alignment on that. So it feels like maybe a 5 in reality. Like even logically, I'm like, I know I'm doing it. I'm doing all the systems, getting all the people, but part of me doesn't feel like right now in this moment that I am capable of that because I'm not. Otherwise I'd already be there. Right. So I'm going to tune into that resistance. I'm going to vocalize those words. I'm going to tap on where I feel tension or any changes. Some of you might have trouble with this. That's okay. It takes practice. If you don't feel anything, just tap anywhere on your body and your body is very intelligent. So it will pick up the area. Okay. So if I'm like, okay, I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made over 1.5 million in less than 12 months while having systems that scale it. So I'm going to tune in. When I say it, I just feel some tension right here. So I'm going to tap that area while looking at that phrase. And I'm going to do what's called align. So as I align, I'm going to tap on my forehead, go down to the back of my neck while breathing in through the nose, then out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth 3 times. Then I'm going to pat like a dog while tapping. 3 times. And smile. Okay. Then I'm going to reread the phrase. Again, I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made $1.5 million over the course of 12 months. That's systemized and optimized. And I'm going to then tune into any other resistance. So you might do 1 or 2 rounds. Tap it. If you have specific words that come to your minds that are negative, vocalize it. Like, this seems too hard. I don't know if I can do it. I've tried and failed. You could say some negatives and then align. and smile. Then I'm going to start back from the beginning, read it again. I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made $1.5 million over the course of less than 12 months that's systemized and optimized. So I'm going to tune in and make sure that that phrase itself, the first part of my story, feels like it's out of 10. Okay. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to tune in. It's like now it was like a 5, that phrase, or just that phrase alone. So now it's like at a 7. So then I might vocalize some other resistance. I don't know how. Part of me feels like I'll flop it, that I won't be focused enough, and I'll struggle. So while I'm vocalizing it, I'm tapping the area. You might have what's called burn off, which could be yawning, crying, laughing, burping. It's called a release. So every single past memory has a heaviness to it. And as you align, it's literally releasing that heaviness. Okay. So as you do this more often, you'll have your own ways of releasing. This will help you feel more free, more capable, more focused, help your body let go of those old memories. It's a phenomenal process. So you're going to vocalize the ideal, align, go back, vocalize the ideal again, vocalize any negative resistances to that. I don't think I can do it. I'm doubtful. I don't know if I have. I tried so hard. Vocalize 3 or 4, tap where you feel it, align, go back, do it again. This takes some work. Like, this is not easy work to do, but I promise if you do this work, it's going to help hugely in your goals. Like, how many would rather put in 1 or 2 hours of hard work than years of scattered work? How many are down for like focused work?
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
What you guys are doing is called focused work. Working on yourselves is the hardest thing to do on the planet, which is why not very many people do it. So this isn't an easy process. It takes energy and effort and time. You do have to put in the work. But I would rather put in the work for 1 to 2, 3 hours and save years of struggle, because you're going to work no matter what. You might as well just work intelligently so that everything works for you instead of against you, right? Which is why you're here. So we're going to get clear. I'm going to have you do this a couple rounds. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to go through some of your story. Then I'm going to open this up and make sure that you guys have gotten the process. I'm going to ask you this. That's when you can ask questions, things like that. And I can help guide some of you through it. I'm going to take one of you through and help show you to take it through. And then we're going to wrap this whole thing up for the night. Okay. So we've got a couple more things that I want you to learn. And then for those who are looking for next level stuff or wanting to go deeper on this, we have an Unstoppable Life School. Some of you are a part of, some of you aren't, that I'll share a link with you to. Or if you want to come to a retreat that's happening in 2 weeks, we've got like 3 or 4 spots left, and I'll share a link to that as well. Okay. So please show one more time the tapping. Okay. So the aligning part, let me go over one more time and then I'm going to give you 5 minutes. So you're going to take your story. You're going to read the first line. And if it's not out of 10, that first line, you're going to go to the next line. Once it's out of 10, then go to the next line, the next line, next line, next line. So let's say I'm like, okay, I'm so thankful and grateful now that I've made $1.5 million and it's systemized and optimized and it works really great in less than 12 months. So I go through that. I tune into the resistance. Where do I feel it? Right here. Then I tap from neck or head down to the back of the neck. So breathing into the nose, out to the mouth 3 times. 3 times. Then you're going to pant while tapping. 1, 2, 3, then smile. Okay. So it's tap into the nose, tap out to the mouth, tap into the nose, tap out the mouth, tap into the nose, tap out the mouth, tap, pant, tap, pant, tap, pant, smile. Okay. And then, so this process is simple as it seems. Like the full version, we've been able to help people double their income in less than 30 days. We've seen people get rid of symptoms from depression, suicidal tendencies, gluten allergies, soy allergies, to being able to get their ads working again, to being able to not have any fear of speaking on stages, to be able to actually like make their first $10,000 in a month, to be able to enroll high paying clients, to you name it. So this process is simple as it seems, is very powerful, the depth of what you're doing. Now, we
So
have
cool.
schools and things to learn next level stuff, but for now, don't worry about that. What we're going to do, you're going to go through, read your thing, right? Align it, tap where you feel it, then read it again, vocalize any negative stuff, tap it, align it, then read it again. And you're just going to keep moving through your story, working through any of the resistances. Okay.
So
yeah.
quick question, Tyler, you tap the area of the tension that you feel, but then
Yes.
do you do the head tapping at the same time that you're tapping that area?
If you can and you're coordinated, yes. It's
Okay.
not necessary, but it does help when you're, so think about it as localizing it. So when you vocalize your goal, what's happening is your body is communicating in every single cell and organ of your body. So it's sending signals to the brain and the brain to your body, which then is communicated throughout your body language. So most language, there's been lots of studies on this, is like 7% is just verbal, like words. The other 93% is through tone and facial expressions and body. So why does that matter? Well, because your body expresses itself. So if you've ever gone up to somebody and you're like, you ever just walked and somebody speaks and you know you can trust them or not, like, oh, that person's totally lying, or that person's really manipulative. They didn't say I'm manipulative, but their body communicated it based on their old perceptions that are stuck in their body. So what you're doing is you're working through these perceptions to create essentially a new version of you. So when you vocalize your goal, your body sends the signal. So the tapping of the area stops the signal from actually being communicated. So when I speak it, body's reacting, wait, sending a new signal to my body. Body can only pick up on certain, like one signal at a time, especially when it's pain. So tapping is a small variation of pain. So it's saying, oh, something's happening here. Wait, I thought you just triggered something from my past. Wait, why are you, what's going on? So it's localizing that trigger response. Then as you start to tap and breathe, first thing to go in a fight flight is your breath. So you're into the nose, out to the mouth. The body can only focus on like one thing. So it's like, hey, wait, trauma should be happening, but now I'm feeling a localized trauma, but now I'm breathing through it. What's going on? So it's literally like reshaping how your body reacts to everything. Breathing in through the nose, out the mouth 3 times, panting, puts your state in a hyper oxygenation state. And then it allows you to also only focus on life, which is like your body feels like it's kind of dying in that moment. And it stops all those fight flights. And literally like, that's how you reprogram it. And smiling at the end solidifies it through sending endorphins to the brain to say, hey, I'm at cause and I'm choosing my responses. So it's all localized for that purpose to make those shifts. Okay. So there's a lot more to it. In the full version, you get in modes and different parts and stuff, but doing this, like, this is going to be incredible. Like, so we're going to give you 5 minutes, no more questions. Okay. Go through. I want you to experience some of this. Do it for 5 minutes. I'm not going to play any music for this because I want you to feel the response and I don't want the music to affect that. So I want you just to be in quiet, vocalize your thing, tap it, and align it. You have 5 minutes. Ready and begin. So go through your story, work through those resistances, rate it first. Get a starting point. Got about 3 minutes left. Again, read that thing, rate it, tap the resistance, align, do it again, back from the beginning, vocalize any of the resistance around that ideal, tap it, align it till you get it up. Okay, less than a minute left. Okay, begin wrapping it up. Very cool. Okay, so when I started doing the story version of working through my resistance back 7-8 years ago, when I was making less than 13 grand and I wrote that story out and I got so excited for it, 1 year from that day, I brought in $135,000. So more than 10x to my income, was able to start creating what I wanted. And it didn't happen how I thought it was. I wrote it out. I was in an MLM thing and I was like, I'm so thankful and grateful now I'm doing this MLM thing. And I like wrote it out. So I wasn't tied to the how, but I was focused on the becoming, because I knew if I could become this person, the doingness will change. It could be whatever the heck it doesn't matter to me, the doingness, and the havingness will happen. But I know that I must become the person that I really, truly want to be. And I thought of that and I was like, man, what would it be like to make 20,000 a month? And like, how would I hold my shoulders and how would I communicate and how would I do this and how would I do that? And I remember just thinking that back then and getting so excited about it. And then I thought, man, what kind of person? And then I got it and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I started making 20,000. And I thought, what would it be like if I made over $100,000 in like a weekend? Like, what would that be like? Man, that sounds impossible. Like, it took me this long to make it in a year. What if I did like 100K in like a weekend? And I focused on that and I worked through all the resistance. and I focused on my goal, and I was able to work through not feeling good enough, didn't feel capable. I didn't know how, never done that before. Oh, it's not in my family genetics. Oh, poverty mentality, grew up in this way. And I worked through all those resistances. And as I did, I remember the first time I did one of my events like years ago, I was able to make over $250,000 in 3 days. And I thought, holy cow, like there's power when you choose to become. And I share these things not to brag, but to show that if a guy like me does it, and I'm like from Green Forest, Arkansas with teeth gaps and like look like I'm 16 years old, if I can do it, then anybody on this planet can do it. Doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what you look like, what you've been given, but it does matter what you do with that. So today I've taught you, hopefully, a little bit more about how to step into your new identity. So your homework assignment from this, and we're going to take a couple questions, is you're going to map out those keywords. So relationships, health, wealth, like all those ones, travel, education. Map out your goals, the having this, doing this, and the becoming this, right? Map out 3 for the becoming, 3 for the doing, and then 1 for the having. Then you're going to create your ideal story, incorporating them all as if it's already happened a year from today. Once you're done with your story, you're going to go and you're going to do a full work through. So you're going to go through the whole thing. To do that does take some time. Like if you do it well, that'll probably take you several hours to actually work through the resistance. You might break it over a couple days. I'm going to show you how to anchor this in so you don't have to redo it. And I want to take some questions, okay, so that you can lock this in and anchor it so that going on, you can remember this. But that's going to be your assignment going forward so that you can really embody this New Year's goals, okay? Do you merge all the stories or keep 13 separate stories? I like to merge all of mine into like one ideal one, and it's just longer and it takes a little longer. So like usually some of them last like 5 or 6 minutes, me reading my story of like, dude, this is so awesome. I'm creating this. And the first time I did it, it took me like 2 or 3 days of working through all the stuff because I had a lot of resistance on all of them. But after you shift it, then you anchor it, and then you're like set, right? So it's super worth taking the time to do this, guys. Even if you just like sit out for a weekend or something, take time. The thing that you're going to do is what you're doing is you're confronting every detail, looking through all the words. Most people vocalize an affirmation, they look at it once, and we avoid it the rest of our life. Instead of doing that, you're teaching yourself to confront the uncomfortable, to be like, oh man, that part, oh, I don't like it. So you're going to do it, work through it, and get comfortable with it. Yeah, be the buffalo, not the cow. Love it. Yeah, Jacob that was a good example of one of the trainings that we went through together. So with that, let's just take a couple shares real quick. Then I'm going to show you how to anchor, and then we'll wrap it up. By the way, how many in here would like some extra help to maximize their journey? Like if you had a monthly thing that you could experience a transformation each month, how many would be interested in exploring what that would look like? Like down for some monthly shifts and transformation to maintain this, and not only your goals, but each month a new focus to become that person so that you can continue it. We have a few people. Cool. So I'll share that here in a second. Before we do, let's take one share. Who would like to go? Let's get one share so far. What's your big takeaway? What have you experienced even just doing some of the aligning? Stanley, go for it.
Yeah, the big thing that I realized is that I give the negative way too much screen time in my mind. Because I've always heard the quote, there's a space between stimulus and response, and in that space is our freedom and our power to choose. But I think it's you don't realize when the stimulus is coming from your own head that it is a stimulus. and just as I was going through this, I'm like, hang on, wait, I can choose. I can actually say like, no, actually we're doing this now, guys. This is where we're going. And it was just this crazy feeling of, oh, wait a minute, I can choose. I'm not stuck in this. So that was a really cool feeling.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's a state of alignment. State of alignment is when you are at cause, or choice. When we're pushed or pulled, we don't feel like we have control over it. It's just like, oh man, I just feel like it's happening to me, not for me. But the moment you start working through this, all of a sudden you're able to like step into a new identity and like, I don't have to feel this way. So FYI, you will probably, all of those who are doing this, you will probably put this off and avoid doing it, because this is one of the most powerful things to do to confront stuff. And the body's natural state wants to run. So I still fight it every day. Like, I'm like, I know I need to work through this, but I don't want to. My body, and knowing, hey, part of me is being a victim now. I got to step in, confront this, align it, shift it. Now I feel so much better. I'm like, why did I wait? Like, why did I not do that sooner? Because you feel so much better. So awesome. Great to see all these cool goals. Could you align to the goals first and then create the story? Yeah, you could do it that way as well, Tracy. Cool. Love it. See this. I've been able to eat gluten and wheat for 3 weeks since applying this technique. It was scary, but I couldn't believe the result. Love it. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Jody, finance, perfect. So happy for you. Know this will happen for you. Cool. Okay. Okay. 2 things. Let's go through and learn about anchoring so you can anchor this in. Okay. So let's say once you're done and you finished your story, you're like, wow, I'm at this peak state. Or even if you do a portion of it and you want to add to it later, let's say you work through it 30 minutes and the next day 30 minutes, or in the morning or at night. So you're going to take your ideal story. You're going to look at the entire story. So if I have it, I'm going to look at the entire story. What this does is it makes my subconscious and conscious confront all the parts of it at once. So I'm going to look at it. I'm going to make sure I'm in a peak state. Okay. This is the same process, just a different variation that a lot of elite athletes do. And it's called anchoring. So it solidifies things to help bring back to memory, muscle memory, so that you don't have to just force it all the time and redo stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at your thing, get it at that peak state. So I want to make sure that I feel really great, that I've worked through the resistance and I'm at like a 10. Okay. And I'm like, dude, this story feels incredible, awesome, amazing, like insane. Like, I can't believe, like, it just feels awesome, right? I don't want to feel that energy. And I'm going to pick a spot on my body. You can muscle test if you know how to muscle test. Otherwise, just use your intuition. Pick a spot on your body that you want to remember this from. So sometimes it's here, here, here. It doesn't matter the spot. Just pick anywhere on your body that you want to remind yourself of this story. So you're going to pick a spot, and then you can muscle test to pick a number, or you can just first number to come to your head. Okay. So it's like, hey, this ideal life, ideal story, 2023, 23 times. Maybe that comes to my mind because it's year 2023. Sweet. So I'm going to tap 23 times right here on my shoulder. So I'm going to look at my goal, think about this, get myself into a peak state, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That is going to remind my body when I tap 23 times to remind myself of the peak state and all the work that I just did regarding this thing. So you do it once, shake it off, change states, think of something completely different. And you do it 3 times in a row to really anchor it in. So I'm going to get that peak state back. 10, so incredible, awesome, this is amazing. 1, 2, 3, 23 times, or wherever, how many numbers you come up with for your intuition and what resonates with your goals. 23 times, 23, boom. Change states, think of something completely different. And one more time. Do it again. Boom, peak state 10, 23 times. Okay. Once you're done, you have solidified that anchor. So it's like setting a cruise control for, like, you're going 190 miles an hour now. So if you ever have to hit a brake, like something gets in your way and you turn it off, you've set that anchor point to remind yourself, actually, this is my identity. 23 times. Boom. Brings it back to your body's memory. Like all the things that I've done, boom, back 23 times, or however many numbers, whatever location. Pretty cool, huh? So that's how you can refresh. I do an anchor on all the alignments that we do each month. we have a school called the Unstoppable Life School that we actually do an alignment every month. So we'll go through a full process and we take you through a focused alignment to make the shifts. So for those of you who aren't or haven't heard of the Unstoppable Life School, it teaches you the basics of aligning, and you get to do an alignment with me once a month where we step into a new identity. And I invite people to come and teach you some life skills about transformation or growth or finances and health. And we pull from all sorts of people that I'm connected to, and they come teach you once a month on some really powerful stuff. Also, you have the chance of being worked on by me. If you're on the leaderboard in there, sometimes I'll pull from whoever's winning, and you get a session with me, which I charge over $2,000 per session. So that's a really cool thing to experience and get that as part of it. So if you would like that link, how many are interested in like joining that? It's actually a monthly thing. We could charge anywhere from like, it's going to be $197 a month. Right now it's $27 a month. So we're going to jump it up, go to its original price here in a second, here next month. So if you would like to get it locked in at a subscription for $27 a month, then we have the link for you. It's a really low end thing, but it's a really awesome experience. So you get awesome training. You can cancel anytime. You're not locked into anything. But it's an amazing school to be a part of so that you can get some transformation. Some of you are already a part of that. If you would like some personal time with me, then we're actually doing a retreat in 2 weeks. And that is if you want me to work on you and have an incredible experience. That is if you're already like, man, I've tried a lot of things. I just want to get some shifts. Time is of the essence. I want to kick off my new year with a bang. Then if you're interested in that or in learning the full process, I have opened up my calendar for a few conversations. It's free if you want to meet with me for 30 minutes, but it's an exploratory session. So I can guide you to what might fit. We've got a few different options. Could be coming to a retreat, could be going through our academy, learning the full technique, could be joining a mastermind and getting weekly or monthly shifts. So if you would like that, I'm going to post that as well here for you. Save it, because as soon as we end this, the links will go away. So if you want to join the Unstoppable Life School, right now it's $27. And if you jump on that, then when we up the price, you'll be locked in at the 27 instead of having to pay $197. So you'll save like a couple $1,000. So that'd be great. So there you go. So we just want to do that, get everybody, as many people as possible into that. Debbie, how long will this price be available for me to share it with people? I think we'll be upping it at the end of this month, possibly within the next 10 to 15 days. So, but it will shift by the end of this month at the latest. So that'll be something I just want everybody to be aware of. And then for those who would like to book a conversation with me, I have a link somewhere and I saved it somewhere. So give me a second. Let's see. Ah, here it is. Okay. So maybe Heather Jane has it somewhere. I had it. Here it is. Book a call with Tyler. Copy. Okay. If you'd like to, I've got a few spaces open. If you'd like to explore how to get aligned consistently, whether you want to learn the technique, apply it to yourself, family, you can click that link, book a 30-minute session with me, and we'll explore it. See what's a good fit. Okay. I want to make sure that you get what you need and get the support you need for this year. So some of you, it might be coming to an event, a retreat, getting a huge experiential shift, and then going back and confronting everything you need. Other things, it might just be just going through the school, go through the Unstoppable Life School, get that monthly shift. Others, you might be like, oh my gosh, I'd love to learn this technique because it's a lot more fun to work on people this way. And you can shift a lot faster than a lot of the tools and processes out there. So either way, click that link if you'd like to book a session, book it for this week. And then if you'd like to grab the Unstoppable Life School at the discounted price, then use that link up above as well. So thank you guys for joining me today. Has this been helpful? Yeah. Okay. So I want you to write down your takeaway, or let's just get a couple shares, your number one takeaway from this and what you're going to do differently because of this. Who would like to go? Story is fantastic. Loved it. I'll start tapping right now. Love it. Good.
Hey, Tyler, I'll give
Yeah.
a quick little testimonial. Tyler, I did a session with him and kicked a 30-year Diet Coke habit. And I drink one now and then, but I was drinking several a day. So I am heading out to Salt Lake to be with Tyler here in a couple weeks, and I'm super excited. So encouraging anybody, I invited so many people tonight. You have to kind of experience what Tyler does to know how powerful it is. I think our minds are so powerful. So Tyler, thank you for doing this for everyone. Like this, you're so generous and you care so much. So I just appreciate you so much. And the story, I want to go through and rewrite it and really do it. Like, I haven't heard you teach that. Every time you teach, I learn something new. So thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, so be sure, guys, remember, go through all those parts, write out your ideal story, work through all, like, I can't emphasize this enough. Like, if you really go thorough on going through your story, it's a thorough process. It's like hard work. You got to like force yourself to do it, because you'll get tired, you'll get sleepy, you'll get upset, you'll get frustrated, but you just stick with it. Work through the resistances, get it up, confront it again, check it again, and get it to that peak state, and then anchor that in. Oh my goodness, you guys are going to be unstoppable this year. Like, it is so amazing. You're going to save so many hours, so much struggle, and start to embrace that new identity. And if you would like extra level stuff, book that session with me. Let's explore options. Come have some fun. It'll be exciting. We've got like 4 or 5 more spots left, and it'll be epic. If you can't make this January, we've got another one happening 2 months from now. So, but just come, do what it takes, book that session, or join the Unstoppable Life School. Do something to help yourself consistently, because out of all the work I've ever done, when I work on myself, that is when life just works so much better. It's really fascinating. Like, I've been working on a goal for a long time, and I'd been resisting it a lot, like getting teams and systems and skills and people. And I'd gotten some, and then it didn't work out, and I got frustrated, and I was like upset, and I was like, wait, this is just it. So I kept working through it and aligning. And now I feel like literally, like, we are creating we have like some of the best team in the world. Literally, like, people who are out there working with global leaders are now part of our team. And I'm like, wow, like, that didn't feel hard at all. It just happened. Like, it was just natural. And I look at that and I'm like, why? And I look back and I aligned some of these things a year ago, and now I'm ready and become that person. So now it just happens as if it's natural. So each and every one of us has a journey. We have things that we're working on. We're becoming, we're changing. Don't give up on yourself if it doesn't happen overnight. Go through this, become it, confront those resistances, get the help you need. We've got the resources here to serve you guys and really expand as much as you can. So thank you guys so much. Linda, how do you get on my list for the retreat? To a couple months from now would be good timing. You can just book a call with me. Just book a call and I'll get you plugged into what you need. Yes, we do have multiple retreats per year. We're doing 6 this year, actually. 2 just for the elite mastermind, and then 4 for the public, general public, to come and experience one. And we can only do like 15 each time, 15 people each time, because I actually work on you there. So I take you through like the number one thing that's keeping you stuck and help you shift it in 2 days. So it's literally like cramming 40 years of experience in 2 days. It's pretty awesome. Very intense, but amazing. So if you want to come experience some stuff, then the retreat's where it's at. Yeah, if you're interested in retreats, just book a session with me for 30 minutes and then I'll give you links and send you to where you need. Okay. Okay. Very cool, guys. Did somebody have any questions? Clarissa, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm so grateful for you. It was such an immense pleasure to have met you and to see your work live in person, hands-on. I literally have been gluten and wheat free for 3 weeks. I don't even know how. It's incredible. And I just signed up for your school. I just signed up for it. Like literally while you were talking about it, I was like, yeah, send me that link. I clicked on it and I'm all in. This is amazing. And I want to be able to apply all of these things that you have more in depth with all the other areas of my life. I believe that this is going to be the most amazing year of my life.
It will be. And I
So
love
much.
that. Yeah, thanks for sharing with that passion. I'm like so excited for you.
Thank
That's
you.
great. Yeah, big round of applause. Thanks for sharing. All right, let's go, Natalie. We had a couple questions. What is the location? Utah this round. So if you want to come to Utah during the snow, woo, woo, that's where it's at. Super fun. Yeah, it'll be super exciting. So when are the classes if I join the school? So classes, they're all pre-recorded if you miss them, but usually we do them, we do one in the middle of the day and then one usually at night. So like right now is when we do normally the Unstoppable Life School. I combined them because we were doing the new year. So yeah. Which place? I think it's in Draper is the area. So Natalie, go for it.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to thank you. I don't know if you remember me.
Yeah,
We actually met 2 weeks ago on the
yeah,
stage.
for sure.
Yeah, so since then, I've actually felt a very great shift. When I'm telling you great, it's been amazing. I've actually made 3 sales since then. And remember, I had such a great resistance to attracting the money. So, and also I've had more confidence. So it's just been an amazing journey.
Woo, woo. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So yeah, you inspired me so much and given me such more wanting to do so much more with my life. And I know now I just want to be able to attend one of your I guess you could say one of your retreats eventually.
Yeah, would love to have you when you're ready. So
Yes.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And awesome. Keep up the good work. And yeah, thanks again. Give her a huge round of applause.
Natalie! Woo!
For me.
There. Brother.
Let's go, Isla.
There's kind of a trend here. I was at the same event as these 2 beautiful women. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you. I don't know if you remember me.
I do.
I was struggling with panic attacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I haven't experienced any of that anxiety since then. And that's been like an extreme struggle of mine my whole life. So I wanted to say thank you. I really that's changed so much for me. And now I'm gonna really focus on changing. I didn't know I could change that about myself. So thank you. I booked a call. So
Boom. Yeah, way to go. And man, it's so powerful when you guys are stepping into this place of seeing we don't think things can change until it changes. And then we're like, wow, I didn't know I had to hold on to that. I could let go of it so quick. And you can change things in minutes instead of taking years. So thank you guys for taking your time here. And that just shows the kind of people that you are. And again, if you guys need some extra assistance, then yeah, would love to help. Would love to have all of you at the retreat, but we only have space. Space is limited. But would love to have you guys at least on the Unstoppable Life School, because that one we can have as many people in as possible. So thank you guys so much. There's the links if you want to save them, the Unstoppable Life School and the exploratory call. And then I will get this uploaded and then send you guys recordings. So it and hopefully you guys are all on my list. If not, I will post it in 2 places. One's going to be in my YouTube, and then one will be in my Facebook group we'll post it there as well. So if you go to tylerfb.com, that'll take you to my Facebook group. If you're not on my list, I don't know. So that'll get you into the group, and then it'll be put into the pinned post. So thank you guys so much. Do
Thank
it.
you.
Go through it. Like, I know it's a little homework, but I promise, like, this extra work that you put on yourself is going to make all the difference. So craft some time out. Don't put it off for like 3 weeks. Do it like this week. Plan that out because you're still in the energy of that change, and then anchor that in and go make some changes, guys. Really appreciate you guys. Have an awesome new year, and allow this to help you become that person and go nail your goals. And I look forward to seeing several of you at the retreat, in the life school. It'll be a lot of fun. And today is just the beginning. So well done.
Thank you, Tyler.
We'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you for your amazing energy and time, Tyler.
You guys are welcome. You're awesome.
Thank you. This was great.